Welcome to the recap of the day, where we recap the biggest highlights from the world of football in the last 24 hours. The start is as usual from the African Cup of Nations as the round of 16 continued its action on Tuesday, without massive surprises though, as Senegal and Morocco predictably went through over Cape Verde and Malawi. However, there were struggles as Senegal was valiantly fought off in Bafoussam by Cape Verde, who reduced to 10 men inside 21 minutes as Patrick Andrade saw red. Senegal couldn't score though despite their numerical advantage. In the second half, Cape Verde's goal Virginia was sent off harshly frankly for an accidental clash of heads with Sadio Mane, with Shobo's players being injured, although Mane only left after scoring the opening goal for Senegal to break the deadlock. Cape Verde hung on until the 92nd minute when substitute Bemba Dieng sealed the deal for the Lions of Teranga, who go on to meet the winner from Mali vs Equatorial Guinea, which takes place on Wednesday night. In Yaoundé and Morocco managed to breeze past Malawi 2-1. Despite Malawi shockingly taking the lead inside 8 minutes thanks to Dennis Mahango with one of the goals of the tournament, it was a one-side game otherwise, with Morocco missing loads of chances to equalise, hitting the woodwork 3 times, with Malawi's goalkeeper Charles Storm standing firm as well. However, Morocco's persistent paid off as El Nassiri equalised in first half stoppage time. The second half was more of the same as the Atlas Lions waited until the 70th minute to see Hakimi score the winner with a wonderful free kick again after the one he scored in Gabon. Almost a carbon copy. Morocco will meet the winners of Egypt vs Ivory Coast, which is the big clash on Wednesday, to set yet another blockbuster for the quarterfinal on the weekend. We move on from the action to the pitch to something more tragic, as 8 people have died in a stampede outside Olympic Stadium in Yaoundé, which was hosting the African Cup of Nations game between Cameroon and Comoros on Monday, according to officials. Nasseri Paul Biya, the governor of the Central Region of Cameroon, said there could be more casualties. The stampede happens as the crowds were struggling to get access to the Olympic Stadium ahead of the game in Yaoundé. Officials at the nearby Missassi hospital said they had received at least 40 injured people from the stampede, with some of the injuries being described as critical according to the workers and nurses in hospital. Of course, all condolences go to the families of the deceased and all the wishes to speedy recoveries for the injuries. To some transfer news now, as after loads of speculation and rumours, Dusan Vlahovic is set to be scooped by Juventus as they made a €75 million bid to acquire the services of the 23-year-old Serbian striker from Fiorentina. This move is set to be completed in this window and not in the summer as was suggested before. This massive scoop for Juventus could represent an opening for the old lady to let a couple of players go, mainly Alvaro Morata to Barcelona, as he's been linked to move back to Spain for quite a while. As for Vlahovic, he reportedly turned down offers from Real Madrid and mainly Arsenal, who lost big time on his signing after being in the leading place in the charge weeks prior. Speaking of Arsenal, and they seem like they may even be struggling to snap up another offensive target as a second option after Vlahovic's loss. Alexander Isak was seemingly on the radar of the Gunners for quite a while, but according to The Athletic, his reported €75 million release clause seems way higher than what Arsenal are willing to pay at the moment. However, they're not giving up just yet and they're still negotiating a deal, even though there is no real interest from the Real Sociedad striker in joining the London-based outfit. This comes at Arsenal in the market for the striker, as Aubameyang seems to be out of any future plans and Alexander Lacazette on the way out as his contract expires this summer with no intent on the horizon to renew it. Still in England and moving on to Manchester, as more players are going to be offloaded from Ralph Rangnick's Man United side, and after Martial's loan exit to Sevilla was confirmed, it's now Donny Van De Beek's turn to leave, as numerous sources are reporting an interest from Crystal Palace in signing the Dutch midfielder, who was signed in the summer of 2020 for €45 million. This transfer kinda makes sense since Van de Beek has been out of favour with Solskjaer and Rangnick afterwards, barely making 50 appearances in his Man United career, starting 20 and scoring only 7 goals in the process. Just a reminder, Donny Van de Beek was a Ballon d'Or nominee in 2019 after a stellar season alongside Ajax, making a great run to the semi-final of the Champions League, which might make this rumoured transfer a bit surprising, especially naming Crystal Palace. Speaking of Crystal Palace, and to round up this news, although this bit of news is not exactly related to them, but it has a link somehow that traces back to the northwest London side, as their former coach Roy Hudgson is going to be on the dugouts yet again as the new Watford manager to continue being the oldest active manager in the Premier League history at 74 years of age. Watford have sacked Claudio Ranieri 2 days prior Unsurprisingly, after an abysmal run that saw him only winning 2 games in 2 months, losing 11 and never keeping a clean sheet in his whole short run, Roy Hudgson is currently given the unsurmountable task of keeping Watford in the Premier League, with the Hornets currently at 19th with 14 points, only 2 ahead of bottom of the table Burnley with 3 games in hand. That's it for this recap of the day. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe. Follow us on social media. I was your host, the HOD of the PSP, and goodbye.